welcome to Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Today we have a special treat for you. We are off-site at a Greenwood nursing home where we'll be interviewing some special ladies. It's chilly. Alright, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, alright?
Alright, Jimmy.
So, Diana Morgan, tell me about you. Where did you grow up? In your family? What was it like?
Well, I grew up in the South with a very wealthy family. My father was a very prosperous cotton merchant.
Yes.
We had lots of money. We had maids, cooks. But my father, he grew very ill. And he went bankrupt. We lost all our money.
It's a shame.
It was the saddest day.
Yes.
It really was. And it was right before I was about to go to college.
Yeah.
And so I had to change my college, go to a less expensive one. When I came back, all the maids and the cooks, they were gone. And I had to figure out how to live.
Yeah, so did you try and support your family by getting a job? How was that? Was it hard?
At first, it was very difficult. I had never worked a day in my life, so I kind of had to learn. I had to wait for some offers. I had a job for one day, but it didn't work out very well because it was too much hard labor. But then the next day I got a call from a union to call me in, and then I went to the office. I did go. I'm sorry, my memory is failing me.
Yes, it's okay, dear.
I went. Your memory. My memory is failing.
Sorry.
Alright. To find a new job.
Yes, and did you find one there?
I did. Coincidentally, I did. I didn't mean to, but I helped some people out in the waiting room. And they loved me. They were like, oh, you have to work here.
You had a knack for it.
And I did. I had a knack for it. I was. It's when I really learned that I loved social work, and I became a caseworker, actually.
Wow, that was interesting work then. A lot of needy people.
I love to help the poor. I myself was no longer very wealthy, but
you still had needs.
I still love to help the poor. I didn't even know it before. But I went to school in New York for casework, and I furthered my education.
And you met your husband as well there?
I did meet my husband. God bless his soul.
Yes. But more about your social work?
Yes, I continued throughout my whole life. Even to this day, I love helping people. I was actually invited to the First Families of Virginia Ball.
Wow.
The Virginia Ball?
The Virginia Ball. Were you invited?
No, the Virgin Ball. No, Virginia. Virginia. It's all right. You're 113 years old.
Although an honor, I rejected them.
You rejected them? Why would you reject such an honor?
They paid their employees 75 cents an hour.
75 cents, folks.
Way too much. Overpaid. I wrote them a letter and I told them they needed to lower that wage because they were starving people all over America.
Yes.
I did. And
you stuck by your values, even though you started out rich and you lost it all, and you still were fighting for those lower people.
I did. I don't know if I would have realized my knack for loving people and helping them had I not lost my home and everything I had. But I like to think I would have. But I'm so thankful for the Depression. I really am. It was a horrible time in life. Why are you laughing, Jimmy? It was the Depression. It was hard times. Jimmy, you weren't there. But thank you for talking to me today, Jimmy. I'm so glad I could tell my story, even though you keep wanting to look at me.
James! Sorry, I'm not antidepressant. Thank you so much, Diana Morgan.
Thank you.
Our next guest, Myrna Lloyd. Alright, so Myrna, everyone wants to know, how was it being such a famous actress during such a hard time?
Well, you know, I started out, and my acting career really started getting big at the beginning of the Depression, honestly. And so Like, I was starring in movies like The Thin Man. It was a very popular movie at the time. But I really didn't experience much of the Great Depression because I was an actress and I was making the money in Hollywood and
every day.
Exactly, I was working every single day, and so everyone around me had a job. I didn't know what the Depression was like, and so basically, I think the reason why I kept a job.
Dorothy!
And why it was so important.
Dorothy, are you tweeting? What happens now? Dorothy, I know a lie when I see one. I've lived.
Please put away your phone, Miss.
What does it say? What did you say?
Yes, do read aloud to the
Well,
group.
I tweeted you.
You tweeted me?
Well,
Jeremy.
Jimmy. Oh, wow, what a tweet. Yawn, James is killing me. Hashtag self-righteous trampy old hag. I'm 117 years old. Dorothy, how could you? Disrespect.
The devil must have controlled my fingertips. I don't know what overcame me. You grip that Bible. You need it.
I would like to
need the
continue
Lord.
my story, please.
All right, let's
Well,
get
now
back
please
here.
continue.
Back to the
Let's hear the
story.
politics.
Okay,
So I kept a job because people needed movies during the Depression.
they did to escape from the harsh reality.
Exactly. And so I kept a job because people used me as an escape, and yeah, people needed me.
And so there's some rumors about you being pretty close with some powerful people, specifically the Czech Republican Jan.
What, dear?
Man!
I'll explain. Okay, so
explain.
his name was Jan Masaryk, and he was a diplomat for the Czechoslovakia. He was a diplomat for Czechoslovakia, and he he was doing a radio broadcast, and I overheard it, and so I sent him a cable to kind of, back him up, be like, I really don't think it's okay that Czechoslovakia is, like, falling out. And so he took my words, and he put them in the London Times, and I became very worldwide popular, And so I guess Hitler, he did not like what I had to say, Mr. Adolf Hitler.
Oh, wow, very
and so I kind of was like on his hit list. And
That's a little bit funny.
Anyway, so yeah, all my pictures and movies were banned in Germany, and that was interesting. But another political figure that I became really good friends with is Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh,
And
very
so
interesting.
her husband, he was my biggest fan. He loved my movies, and so he always wanted to, see me and meet me, and so I was invited to the White House like 4 times or something. But every single time that I went to the White House, it was so weird. Like, I would go there, and then he would be gone. Like, he would be going to a different a different country. And so I was invited for his birthday party. I brought him flowers and bought a hat and everything. But then I ran into Eleanor, and she was like, "Oh, he'll be so sad because you just missed him. He's in some country in Europe."
Oh, I 117.
After that, Eleanor and I became the very best of friends, and I'd say that's my story. That pretty much sums me up.
So you didn't have any effects on you? The Great Depression pretty much didn't touch you.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I touched others.
You did touch
because
others.
my movies,
Bless
you
your
know,
soul. Dorothy did.
What, dear?
Anyway,
Nothing! I'm sorry to have interrupted.
Okay, yeah, I think that wraps me up.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you.
Excellent job, Mary. Actress.
Our third lovely lady.
Hello, Jane.
Elizabeth Wood.
Oh, Jane.
Oh,
So nice to be on here.
I hate to be biased, but she's my Grammy. So,
He's my grandson. Oh, how
When the drunken father would come home, the sons would take him and put him in a room, and the beating stopped. It was amazing.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
All credit to you.
Wow.
You changed their lives
Really?
with your generosity.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. So,
great woman.
do tell me, since you were working so closely with these people and their living, conditions, what were those like? Was diseases among them common?
Actually, there was a time when whooping cough became a problem for those youngsters.
Yes.
Unfortunately, 2 infants died. So a group of women came together and they did some research on the whooping cough. And they decided to give all of the youngsters under the age of 6 inoculations, and the whooping cough stopped. It was an amazing
Inoculation?
What a
Yeah, inoculation.
Oh.
Inoculation.
Like presidential?
No. Inoculate, like shots.
Oh.
Yes.
A
Yes.
vaccination.
Sure, vaccination.
Very
All right,
good talk.
stop.
Yes. Dave? What would you like to say? Anything else to you, Grabby?
I would just like to say thank you, Grammy, for all the hard work you have done.
Are you British too?
Golden hot. Grandmother taught me.
Oh,
We're British
I
indeed.
understand. Just as grandmother.
Just with grandmother, we're British.
Okay. So sweet.
Grandmother, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on
Thank
today.
you.
And we're on a special break. Thank you.
Oh, stop it, Tia.
We have a special break. All right, back from our break. This is Dorothy Day, our last and final guest, who actually is having a very special day today. Today's her birthday, Dorothy. Yes.
Hi, Tia.
It's your birthday!
My birthday's November 8th, Tia.
All right, how old are you, Dorothy?
I'm 117 years old.
Oh, and you look great.
Wow.
You're really over 100.
Fresh as a
Not a
daisy,
day
Dorothy.
lower.
All right. So, Dorothy, can you tell me a little bit about your life? Where were you born and your family?
I was born in Brooklyn,
Mhm.
and well, we moved around a couple times. And when I was about 10, we were in Chicago, and we ended up living in tenements, which was really upsetting for me.
Yeah.
And I felt like later in my life I could relate to people who had, met those hard times during the Depression. Not you, Myrna, but other people. I felt like I could relate to them because I knew the shame they felt suddenly, feeling like they failed their families.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So, I read a book, The Jungle by Upton Sinclair.
Oh, yes.
Great book.
Great book. I love that book.
Great book.
Great author, great
Great
book.
author.
I
Great
love
man.
it.
I know him personally.
Really?
Wow.
Wow. Haughty.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry. So that book, I saw how awful the poor in Chicago and other places were being treated, and it inspired me.
Inspired you. Tell me a little bit about your father. It's interesting now that you're holding that Bible, as I had heard.
Oh, he hated Catholics.
Really?
He hated them. He just hated them.
Very
And
interesting.
so I was not born Catholic. I converted slowly in my life. Because I was inspired by the hard times in Chicago, and so I felt the need to fix society.
Did you fix it, Dorothy?
Did you do it?
Did you do it? Dorothy, I know you're 117, but get yourself under control.
17 years old. Did I fix society? No. No one probably will ever fix
Did you
society.
impact it? You did.
Tell me about.
I know it.
Tell me about some of your work that you did. You're into journalism.
I did. My father was a journalist, so I got into journalism.
Mhm.
And I wrote for a couple socialist magazines because I wanted to redistribute the wealth in society.
Great
You're
idea.
not a capitalist.
No, I'm a big old socialist.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I know. Everyone would find that pretty interesting. But,
Yes, yes.
but I am Catholic. So
We got that.
got that going for me.
I more than enough gas.
and people would try to associate us with them because us Catholics, because we were working to help society, but actually we weren't together. It was separate. But as I was saying earlier, basically I created the Catholic Worker, a newspaper, to combine my politically radical socialist views with the Catholic faith, to bring more people in, seeing that it was the Christian thing to do, was to why is Mia over here not suffering while the rest of us are poor?
I didn't suffer.
Yeah.
I was a movie star.
That was the problem.
It's what happened. I had to work.
So you saw the problems in society and those suffering, and
I
you reached out to them.
I wrote about it. I was
You did.
also in jail once.
Oh, very interesting.
What's a day? Jail.
It was 1917, and we were outside of the White House trying to get them to make it so women could vote. And they threw us in jail. We went on a hunger strike.
Wow.
That's why I have such a great figure.
Oh, you still do.
Oh, you still got it.
Oh,
you got it at 117 years old.
True.
Wow.
You only look 112. Your figure, anyway.
Thanks.
Not your face. All right,
My
ladies.
face looks 100.
Yes. All right, thank you, ladies. So, wait. Dorothy.
You want to know what I learned?
What did you learn, Dorothy?
Through helping people,
Mhm.
through the Catholic Worker in New York during the Depression, I found that no one's all good and no one's all bad. It's a mix. No, I saw little Italian women feeding the poor of New York, wearing the metal rings they got in exchange for helping Mussolini over in Italy. So you see, bad, good, one person, perfect.
All right,
Only God
folks.
can judge us.
All right, folks. Thank you for that, Dorothy. Thank you.
Great
for
way
that.
to end the show, Dorothy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Beautiful clothes.
Thank
All right,
you.
I